Hello again, my dears. Okay, this is part 2 of the Wild Robot pop-up card that we're making, and today we're going to be working on the background. So on this part you're going to need your 10 by 14 paper, your bigger paper, okay? Again, we need it portrait style, which is tall. This is kind of what the finished product is going to look like for this part, and after we get done with this, then there'll be one more video that shows you how to put all of this together with your robot pieces and the rocks and the trees that we did. So I'll show you how to do all of that. But first, let's talk about the background. So I understand again that you were learning about landforms. So our background is going to have an area with river. We're going to have kind of a grassy area next to the river, and then we will go further back and turn that into mountains. And then in the very back, we will have in our background, remember foreground, middle ground, background. In our very farthest point of the background for our landform, we will have a volcano, and then we'll have a little bit of sky left at the top. So in order for us to get started, what you're going to need to do is to take your paper, remember it is portrait style, which is tall, and I need for you to take the bottom and I need for you to fold it to the top edge. Remember to match up your edges as best you can and then give it a good solid crease, okay? But make sure that your two edges at the top really do match each other and they're not wonky and off center, okay? So, all right, when you're done, open that back up and flatten that back out a little bit, and you can still see the crease. I need for you to take your Sharpie and very slowly and carefully, because you are working with a Sharpie, trace right on top of your crease. So it's like you're drawing right on top of that crease line with your Sharpie. Okay, so that kind of divides our paper, and this is going to help us a little bit later when we get ready to actually do the cuts for the pop-up part of this. This will help us. So, okay. So we're going to work in the bottom half of the paper first, and what I need for you to do is kind of find the center. Okay, so if I look at just this space down here, this is about the center. I'm going to put just a teeny tiny dot, make it a little bit bigger so that you can see a little dot to help us, okay? Because we're going to divide this bottom section into two sections, a river and then kind of a grassy area right here. So what I need for you to do is, and you can go from the dot, is I need for you to draw an irregular line, okay? Don't get kind of crazy and do like a bunch of zigzags. It's really just kind of a straight line that moves and meanders just a little bit so that it's not completely straight. It's just a little wobbly, but not crazy wobbly, okay? So this will be our the bank of our river. So in our river, to make it look like water, go ahead and maybe draw like some little U shapes in spots to kind of make it look like little waves, so that that's a great indication that this is a river and it's a water area. So I'm just going to do a few. You can do some short ones, some longer ones, and you can see they're horizontal, so they're kind of going across like this. You don't want to draw vertically that way, okay? Just think about the way the waves look in the water, the way that the water ripples when like the wind is blowing across it and you just see these little gentle waves, okay? While we're doing this, go ahead down here at the bottom, write your name at the bottom on the front. And then we're just going to kind of leave this blank. When we color it, we'll color it like grass. But this is going to be partially like where our pop-up is, so we're not going to add a lot of detail right here because our trees and our robot will kind of be standing in this area, and you'll see that a little bit later on, okay? So you have a horizontal line that's like your river bank, like where the river meets the grass, and then you've got a few waves for the river. You've written your name at the bottom, okay? So now we're going to work on the mountains and the volcano. So what I need for us to do, we're going to do the mountains first. I want you to start over here on the left side, and your mountains are kind of like triangles at the top. They kind of peak and then they'll go down and then they'll come back up and go down. So they're irregular. Please do not do mountains that, and if you'll watch my hand, you'll see what I'm saying, go up, down, up, down, up, down, like a zigzag. We don't want it to look like a perfect zigzag all the way across. Mountains, again, are a natural formation, so they're not like perfectly regular in a pattern, okay? So start on the left side, and you're going to kind of go up diagonally, and when you feel like that mountain's tall enough, kind of come back down, and I'm going to go up a little bit again, and I'm making my mountains kind of have irregular shapes to them. So that means that I'm not trying to draw an exact like straight diagonal line when I come back down. And I might make this one a little bit taller and then come back down. And let me do one more and come over and stop. Okay, so you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mountain peaks. That's plenty, okay? You don't need a lot more than that. That may mean that you drew a little bit too small, okay? So at the top of my mountains, just so that we have some contrast in color, I'm gonna put like it looks like snow, like the mountains are so tall that they may have little snow caps on them. So I'm just, again, putting a little irregular line where it looks like the caps of the mountains are just covered with a little bit of a snow. Okay. Now, we need to put a volcano in the background. So find kind of a low spot, like this is not a low spot, this mountain's coming almost all the way to the top of the paper. So this would be a good spot over here because these peaks are a little bit lower. So what I'm gonna do is, if you'll watch me first, I am going to, again with my irregular line, draw a line that's kind of diagonal. And then we are going to draw the other side of the volcano, but we're not going to make it peak into a point like a triangle. We are going to make it a little bit more kind of open and wider at the top. And so I'm going to do another line right here. So this will be my volcano. Okay, so they did not come, the two lines did not come and meet at a point. So I've got a big open gap right here. All right. Now, I am just going to put kind of a zigzag line a little bit to connect, so it kind of went down and then up and then down and up again. And I like the fact that it, when I did my first illustration, it kind of looks like lava flow. So we'll do that. So if you'll start over here, you'll kind of do like long drippy pieces that kind of make it look like lava is coming out of the top of the volcano. Okay, and then if you want to, you can put like little, almost like raindrop shapes, but upside down, like it's getting ready to explode. Okay, so there's our volcano. And then if you would like to add a sun, just pick somewhere to draw a circle. Please do not do the corner suns, okay? You're not ever going to look out the window and look in the sky and see a quarter of the sun peeking up at you. So somewhere, draw your circle. You know, if it happens to be behind the mountain, that's okay if it's overlapped, but putting it in the corner is just one of those things that just looks really weird. So if you will, just put your sun either the whole entire circle, or you can have it be overlapped by a little bit of the mountain, but please do not put it up in one of your corners. Okay. So we are done drawing. The next thing that I need for you to do is color, okay? And when you color, you're basically really coloring the whole thing. I did not color the snow caps, we'll just leave those white. But when I colored, I layered colors like I did with the trees. I'll pull this back to show you. Remember I talked about how I put green down and I put yellow on top, and I put green down and I put brown on top to make the different colors. So in order for this not to look so plain, like I put blue with green in my water in the river, and then for the grass I put green and I just put little bits of brown in there just so there's just a little variation in color. It's not just so plain. And then in my mountains, I did a light covering of brown and black together. In the sky, I did my sun, and if you look, I used some orange and yellow, and then I put like a little halo around with some color, and I did some blue and purple in my sky. And then I went darker brown for my volcano, so there's a good contrast between my mountains and my volcano. And then for the lava, I did some red and orange together, just so that when you look at this up close, you can see, oh, you know, the grass isn't just green, it's green with some brown in it. And the river is not just blue, it's blue with some green. So it's nice to make those different color combinations for your background. So go ahead and do the color. And then in the last video, we will put this all together.